Hey all, and welcome to a tour of loyalty by SelbySoft, by myself, Mike Spence. We're going to give it another, 30 seconds or so here, and wait for the last people to join, and then we'll kind of jump right in here. And today, just as kind of a prep for this, one of the things that I'm going to be talking about is how to use loyalty systems in general. While our point of sale system, of course, can do everything that I'm going to talk about, it's not necessarily just our point of sale software system. We try to make these things generic enough just to educate people on what's happening out there in the industry, what the popular loyalty methods are, terminology, and some of that kind of fun stuff. So this is pretty informal. I'm just going to chat. I've got a quick PowerPoint that I'll show here, and we'll get going. So let's go ahead and share this PowerPoint right here, and you should see this pop up at any point in time. So loyalty options. One of the very first things that we always talk about here at SelbySoft is, loyalty or rewards. Personally, guys, I prefer the term rewards. It's great when customers are loyal, but we want to reward them for being so. Using that reward kind of gives you a little mental shift as far as how you're doing it. It's not, why aren't they coming back more? It's what am I doing to bring them back more, okay? And when I speak about these reward cards, we're typically referring to a plastic or in some cases digital reward card that is being used. Plastic is still king out there. No matter what you think of it, there's that old school perception of it being a billboard in your wallet or purse. So that customer has to physically see and touch it. And there's a lot to be said for that. It's that positive reinforcement of constantly seeing your logo. Even when I'm doing my phone, I may or may not get to that page that I keep all of those apps on. I have a ton of apps on my phone, and I may not go 3 pages over. Whereas with that loyalty card, chances are it's tucked in behind one of my credit cards that I'm seeing on a more regular basis. The other thing that we talk about when we're talking about the plastic is it gives you a physical thing to talk to the customer about and hand back and forth. There's an interaction there that doesn't involve the phone, right? So we feel that's a positive reinforcement of what's going on. So let's talk about the 3 most common loyalty methods or reward methods out there on the market. The first one, everyone's heard of it. Buy 10, get 1 free. That could be buy 14, get 1 free, buy 8, get 1 free. Shoot, I saw on a coffee group the other day, someone over in Europe that was doing buy 7, get 1 free. To me, that's insane in today's world. The advantages of this is it's so easy to explain. When we talk about loyalty systems and reward systems, I tell people all the time, you have to make this easy for your customers to understand. When a reward system's difficult, people don't know what they're getting. A great example I use is out here on the West Coast, we have Safeway and we have Fred Meyer. When I use my Safeway card, right there at the register, it tells me I saved X amount on each item and what I saved total. I spent $100, I saved $3.92. I know what's happening. When I do Fred Meyer, I don't always see that right then and there. I get things in the mail, and that may have changed recently, but at least last time I was forced to go to Fred Meyer to shop. I get things in the mail. We do get gas discounts and things, but it's not as an immediate thing. It's more difficult to explain. If it takes you more than a couple sentences to explain what your reward system is, you're wasting your customer's time and you're wasting your barista or your cashier's times. Okay. Another negative with buy 10, get 1 free is it doesn't work well with multiple categories. So if you're not just a coffee shop and you're doing other things, or if you're a restaurant, buy 10, get 1 free may not be the best choice for you. I'm not going to have a buy 10 coffees, buy 10 smoothies, buy 10 sandwiches type system. It's just too complex. If I'm in a pizza or restaurant location, I may only want to do buy 10, get 1 free on pizzas, but what about those guys who order salads all the time? They're left out at that point in time. Or in a coffee shop, people who order tea may be left out of that category, okay? So it doesn't always work well across multiple categories. Fraud. It's easy. It's easy for people to rip it off there. Every single person who's open right now has experienced a customer come in, a buy 10, get one free program, buy 10 8-ounce drinks and want a quad shot 24-ounce mocha for free. 10 small pizzas. Hey, can I get the extra large with triple meat? Right? It just happens. Typically, the concept of buy 10, get one free is I buy 10 of whatever I normally buy, and then I get one free. Now, in our software, we do have the ability to calculate an average on that, but that still requires an employee to say, no, you can't have that extra drink free, that larger drink free. And it just doesn't happen. Your employees aren't going to spot check it or monitor it the way you might want them to. Okay. Some positives. Customers love to hear that word free. Man, buy 10, get one free. I get a free drink. When's my free drink coming? Do I have enough for a free drink? It's all about the free, right? So that's a really good positive. It's instant gratification when I do have 10 punches or however many on my card. The reward time can be pretty quick from a turnover standpoint for most people. If I go there just 2 times a week, it can take me 4 to 5 weeks at buy 10, get one free to get my drink. So that's roughly once every month or month and a half, I'm getting a free drink. It stays in my mind, right? So it's an exceptionally easy one to promote there. One of the other things that you can talk about with the buy 10, get one free is different punches or points per day of the week. For example, you might do double point Tuesdays, very common, where you're saying you get 2 punches on Tuesday as opposed to 1. Typically, you're going to make that your slowest day of the week. If you're smart on that way you're bringing customers in. The other thing you can do, this is a little bit dependent upon the point of sale, but you can also say that on certain days you get double punches only on certain sizes. So to try and eliminate those people who are ordering 8-ounce drinks, you might say on Tuesdays, you get 2 points if you order a 20-ounce drink, 1 point if you order anything else. That can really help you not only increase the number of customers who are trying to take advantage of this program, maybe advantage is the wrong word, but trying to use your reward system, but it can also help encourage them to get a larger size drink. Over time, we'll see that 20-ounce drink become a more popular size, or 24, or whatever you decide to do, right? Same thing in food. If I get 1 point for every pizza I order, or buy 10, get one free pizzas, if I make Tuesdays, hey, get an extra large, you get 2 points or 3 points, I'm more encouraged on Tuesdays to maybe order for the family because I get a little extra bonus on it, right? So it becomes a way for me to get to my free pizza quicker. Now, it also means that when I order on Tuesdays, I have leftover pizza on Wednesday, and I go, man, that worked out really well, right? So maybe I start ordering an extra large every time. And no, there's no leftovers in my house. It just doesn't happen. So let's go on to the next one. Dollars spent. This is a little more difficult to explain. It's probably one of the more complex reward systems available out there because there's a lot of questions that could be asked of it. So what we're saying here is that every dollar the customer spends, they earn a point towards their reward system. Where it gets complex is, what do those points mean? When we do a single level, then it's pretty easy. 50 points gets you a free drink. The negative with that is it really can tell your customer that they start to realize how much they're spending. Wow, I have 172 points. Man, that means I've spent $172 with you, right? So it kind of tells them right away, here's how much money you spend with me, right? They don't really think about that when it comes to quantity of drinks, but they definitely think about it when it comes to dollar amount of these products. The great thing is it works across all categories. I don't care if you spend $1 on tea, $1 on pizza, $1 on coffee, $1 on whatever, it's still a buck. Okay, so you give me that dollar, I give you a point, so to speak. So it does allow you to be more flexible. We've seen people that are doing retail items like bagged coffee, where they'll go ahead and offer a a dollar per pound purchased, for example, or a point per dollar of pounds purchased. So if I buy a 5-pound bag of coffee, I earn a lot of points. You have to make sure that works out with your profit margin, obviously, right? You don't want someone buying 5-pound bags of coffee and then getting 3 free drinks out of it. There's not as much fraud because really, if you order 8-ounce drinks, yeah, you're only getting 8-ounce points, right? So if you spend $2 on a drink, you just get 2 points. The guy who spends $5 on a drink gets 5 points. One of the challenges with it is because people are spending these different amounts, some of your customers will get free drinks faster than other customers. And so what happens is those guys ordering smaller drinks, even though they may be doing it 3 times a week, they're an incredibly loyal customer. The reward side of it isn't as valuable to them because it takes forever to build something up, right? Whereas the people who maybe order once a week, but they spend $5, $6, $7, they're getting to their free drink faster than anyone else. And so in their mind, they're just plugging along. It's great for them. So kind of think that through as far as which method makes the most sense for you on those two. We'll go to our third method here. Okay, and our third method is a percent cash back. So what we mean by percent cash back is instead of rewarding someone based on the dollars they spent or quantity of drinks, we're kind of combining it a little bit and saying that when you spend money, we're going to take a percentage of your dollars and give it back to you as cash on your gift or your gift or prepaid program. So think credit card companies. Take a page from them. They've been doing this for many years, right? 10% cash back, 1% cash back, whatever. In the restaurant industry, I typically see 10% cash back. Some people will do 7 or 5. Some people will change it depending on the category. So it does work well with multiple categories. So on pizza, I might give 10% cash back, whereas if I do any retail bagged coffee, I might only give 5% cash back on the bagged coffee. So you can kind of adjust that based on what the category is, okay? It's incredibly difficult to have fraud because the only way you get something back is if you spent money with me. So I don't really care what you bought. Again, it's not one that can be cheated by the customer. They can't really create items that will get them more cash back than they spent. A positive and negative, this really depends on the type of person you are, how you approach your shop and things like this, is that there's never a free drink, okay? Now, if you have a highly regarded product, you spend a lot of time, you promote handcrafted, whether that's food or beverage, maybe that's good that you're not just giving it away for free, right? You don't want to devalue all the work you've put into this product. If you're not that type of shop, then that can be a negative. Your customer never really gets anything free. They're just buying a drink or buying product with money that they've earned in cash back. So in their mind, they're still spending money on it. Now they got that money free, but people tend to forget that, right? So it's an interesting way to look at it from a psychological standpoint with your customers. I think that if you're promoting your product as we're better than most people in town, then it can be a good thing for you. The other thing is when you're pairing this with a gift and loyalty or a gifted prepaid card system, one of the really great things there is that this can be tied to encouraging that customer to always have money on their prepaid card, which is a whole nother conversation I've covered before, and I'll cover till I'm blue in the face. The prepaid card helps you reduce credit card liability and all sorts of good stuff. They can't spend that money elsewhere, right? So by doing this, I guess what I'm trying to say is if I've got 6 punches on my card and you make me grumpy, you give me a bad drink, I may not come back to you. If I have $5 on my card, I know I can spend that $5 with you. And so odds are I'll come back just to use up the $5 and then maybe I have a good experience. Okay. So there's a few extra benefits I think you get from the percent cash back. It is fairly easy to explain. What's your reward system? You get 5% cash back on everything you buy. You can choose to make it complex. Again, if you're going to do that, make sure your baristas, your cashiers, everyone knows how to explain it in 10 seconds or less. Okay. The biggest advantage with the percent cashback system is that it can be changed virtually anytime. Both of the other methods are you earn all of this and then I give you the reward. This method is you're getting your reward instantly on every ticket. Every visit you come in, you're getting that reward. So if I change it from 5% today to 10% tomorrow, all your past transactions you still got. I'm not taking anything away from you. Okay. With the other two methods, if I go from buy 10 to buy 12, customers are going to be upset and you need to figure out how to deal with that. Okay. You're going to have to say, wow, I'm going to give you a free drink, or I'm going to ignore it, or tough luck, or whatever. But you need to realize that if you ever increase that buy 10, get one free, or every dollar you spend, you earn a point, customers are going to be mad they don't get their free stuff on time. With the percent cash back, I already gave it to you last transaction. We're just changing it from here forward in time. Okay. So those are the three most common ones out there. A couple other things that I kind of mention is that anything you're doing gift and loyalty reward system, so you've got to build it into your pricing. I have a quick statistics here, 300 drinks a day. If 25% of those drinks are on a reward program, that's 75 drinks a day earned towards rewards. You got to realize that you're generally giving away 10% of all of your sales to people that already come in. If you're adding a reward system to in the hopes that new people are going to go, oh man, I'm going to go to that shop because they do buy 10 get one free, you've already lost, man. It's not going to work. It's an added benefit, but it doesn't actually cause people to just shop with you. If that is the case, then all the competitors in town have to do is say buy 9 get 1 free, and you're going to lose all your business, right? So realize you're giving away 10% of those transactions. So you need to raise your prices by, say, and this will depend on the shop. You can do the math, or you can talk to us and we'll help you do the math. But generally, you're going to have to raise your prices anywhere from 4 to 8% to cover all your reward system. Some people just say, I'm going to do a flat 10% across the board. But it'll depend upon how popular your reward system is. And again, realize it's okay, because there are other advantages when you're doing that reward system. Even though it's people who already shop with you, the more people who see that card out there in the wild, in the public, the better off you are, right? From a marketing standpoint, if you just write it off in that method in your mind. Some other things to think about. Do you have to have a reward system? If you're in an area where you don't have a lot of competitors or no one's doing a reward system, maybe you don't start with one. Maybe, especially if you're opening a brand new shop, think really hard before you do this. Don't just jump in and do buy 10, get one free. Make sure it makes financial sense for you and your shop. You might be in an area where you can tell customers, you know what, we're trying to come up with something really cool for you. We don't have one yet. And just see what happens. If no one's fighting you for it, why do it, right? It may not bring in enough people to cover its cost over the time. How do you prepare for the future? So what happens when costs do go up? What happens when the economy has an issue? What happens when milk skyrockets? We've seen this in pizza over the years with cheese so often. How are you prepared that 10%, that buy 10, get one free isn't cutting it anymore and it needs to go up to 12 or 14? For those of you buying a restaurant out there, if it's an existing shop and they have a reward system, who's going to buy all those free drinks that are outstanding out there? I've seen everything on the small end where people had 100 free drinks. 100 free drinks at figure $4 a piece. You're looking at $400 that you're going to have to give away that the previous owner was responsible for. Okay. And I've seen that go all the way up to hundreds of thousands of dollars in potential outstanding free product. Now, the key word there's potential. Some, if you add up all the points, some people may only have 2 points and they've had those same 2 points for 10 years. It's never going to be a free drink. But you have to understand what your liability is. If everyone who had a free product came in tomorrow, how much is that going to cost you? Okay. And so when buying a shop, negotiate that. I also talked about that in another webinar on buying existing businesses and things to ask about point of sale. You can find that on our YouTube channel or at our website under our webinar section there. Okay, so some good things to think about here. I always like to end this with art design. When we talk about plastic cards, man, do something on the back. Rack, in these cases, wrap an image around the back. Hopefully do a better job than I did in this quick Photoshop there. Put artwork there. Add a QR code that you can scan and do things with, right? So if you want customers to visit your webpage or to order online or to buy product online, roasted coffee or anything else, put a QR code on there to make it easy for them, right? We're all getting more familiar with QR codes since the pandemic started. Do something to make that card stand out to your customers. That's kind of one of the keys that we want you to be able to do there, okay? I've got a couple more minutes. I like to keep these fairly short so that people will actually watch them. Some questions. Let me check here and see what's kind of popped up. One question here is, it looks like, what about paper punches? That's a great question. They're terrible. It's not 1985. Why bother? If you have any kind of electronic point of sale system, it should have a loyalty program built in. I know everyone goes, oh my gosh, I can buy a paper punch card for, a penny a piece, whereas a loyalty card is 70 cents or 50 cents or something like that. Yeah, in the long run, it's going to save you money. Someone will hang on to that plastic card 10 times longer than they will those paper punches. We've all seen the customers that come in and go, oh, I forgot my punch card at home. Can I get another one? Can I get another one? Now they've got 25 punch cards at home with 2 punches each, right? The other thing is, when it's an electronic card, through whether that's through your point of sale or your credit card processor or a third-party punch system on an app, it's harder to cheat, right? Your employees can't cheat it as much. A paper punch, all it takes is an employee to go click, 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 and you're now no longer 10% on your free drink. You're now, a 50% cost on that free drink. It just doesn't make any sense. So don't be short-sighted, okay? I mean, if you have to open and you have no cash left over and you have no way to do it, sure, it's better than nothing, but just barely. Same thing, by the way, with paper gift certificates. People like to think that provides that, homey feel. What it does is tell us that your shop is run by someone who's 142 years old, because it just doesn't make sense in today's world. No one wants to do the math. No one wants to try to read your writing, and no one wants to figure that out at the register. Okay, so my advice: stay away from that stuff. It sounds harsh, but it's what my experience over 27 years has taught us. I've got another question here about what's the right. Let's see here. What's the right number on the buy X get X free and discounts? So I think they're trying to ask where the sweet spot is. It used to be buy 10 get 1 free up here in Washington, where we see so many shops doing this. I think it's more common to be buy 12 or 14 in today's world. But really, the true question, it's like asking, how much you should sell a drink for. What are your costs? If you're Starbucks, your costs are here. If you're an independent just starting out, your costs are here, right? So you need to try and find that sweet spot where it's going to cost you no more than 10%. Anything more than 10% that it costs you is probably a mistake. On discounts, it's a good question, and someone else has just asked this. On discounts, does it have to be buy 10 get 1 free? Depends on your system. I mean, your program doesn't have to be buy 10 get 1 free. It can be buy 10, get 50% off, or buy 10, get a $5 credit, or buy 10, get whatever, right? So that's completely up to you. Think outside the box. Last comment from me that I'll make on this is, when you do decide to implement a reward system, start really small. Don't just blast this thing out there. You got to make sure you have your ducks in a row. The best way to do that is go to your really loyal current customers and say, hey, you come in here all the time. We trust you. Don't tell anyone, but we're starting a reward system. We'd like you to be part of it first. See how it goes. See if they like it, etc. Chances are, if you cancel it on them, you can give them a couple free drinks and they'll be happy, right? If it does work out well, then you just slowly can let that go until you start doing all the media blitz, Facebook, social media, etc. Okay. Guys, if you have any questions about this, the number's on the screen. You can email sales@SelbySoft.com. You can also reach me directly at Mike@SelbySoft.com. You can find me on Facebook, our website, just about anywhere. So we look forward to talking to you. I hope that this information is valuable, and you have a great day and be successful out there. Thank you.